Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have some great guests on the show this week, and lots of horse updates and news. We have Sabra O'Quinn joining us in the studio live. We're going to talk about barrel racing and more. We also have Dr. Adam Cayot going to be speaking about the importance of spring vaccines and getting ahead of the summer season. And we're also going to visit a little bit with Neil Hennessey from Ocala Dog Ranch, and we're going to talk about some natural healing and wonderful therapies that hopefully we can partner up with him to promote, because people who have horses have what, Pete?
Hounds. Oh, tally ho.
Hounds, yes,
Dogs.
hounds and dogs, right? So it should be a great show. We have great guests here in the studio and lots of other events and things that have been going on in the horse capital of the world. Absolutely, just about non-stop for a solid week, wouldn't you say?
I should do my own hook, because you haven't noticed.
Haven't noticed your new hat.
That's right.
Lovely, Pete.
I just got it today.
It looks phenomenal. Indeed. But before we go to Dr. Adam Cayot, there's something very important I want to mention, and that is that we have a young lady that is on our Horse Talk Show team, and that is Abigail Brocious. And I want to wish her a happy birthday today. She has an incredibly bright future as a future veterinarian, by the way. And speaking of veterinarians, here's Dr. Adam Cayot. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative, sitting with Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, where it hits, or Horse Shows in the Sun as it's known. This is Dr. Cayot's office for the hit season.
That's right.
And so let's talk a little bit about, we're coming into springtime. Here in Florida in March, we have flies that are back. The flies are back. We're seeing them around already, and the bugs and the mosquitoes are making their return very soon. We're starting to see some of those around again. Let's talk about the importance of this time of year, making sure that your vaccines are all up to date for all of your animals, horses, donkeys.
Right. So, I mean, this time of year, down here in Florida, you really have to worry about it year round, because the mosquitoes are the awful things that carry the bad things that horses get, like Eastern encephalitis, West Nile virus, those sorts of things that are, certainly Eastern encephalitis is almost 100% fatal if the horse gets it. West Nile can obviously have some detrimental effects, can be fatal. And then Western, luckily, we don't see that too often, but it's here in the States, so, we vaccinate for that as well. But it's always good, even in the winter down here, mosquitoes don't fully get eradicated because of the cold. There's always spots that there's mosquitoes around and that sort of thing. So it's always important that we say, we recommend that your horse be vaccinated for the encephalitides at least twice a year, so every 6 months. With the showing schedule the way it is anymore, most of the horse shows require that they be vaccinated against flu and rhino virus, so herpes virus and flu virus. That should be at least twice a year, so every 6 months. So typically the horse shows are requiring, or the events are requiring, even racing and that sort of thing are requiring that you have your flu rhino shot at least every 6 months, and you should have that at least 2 weeks before or prior to when you're going to your event, because that's when we say that the coverage or the efficacy of the vaccine is there after your 2 weeks. That's ideal. Obviously, if they've been on a continuous vaccine schedule, then you're good. But certainly down here, we do recommend that you do your encephalitides twice a year. pretty much the horse shows require that you have your flu rhinos twice a year, which is a good idea as well. And then we talk about rabies. Rabies in horses we're doing still once a year. I know your dogs and cats have a little bit different recommended rabies vaccine schedule, but horses we're still recommending you do your vaccine for rabies once a year, and it's always a good idea because inevitably here in Central Florida there's always reports of wild animals that have been confirmed positive for rabies. And rabies is a relatively cheap vaccine, and it's very effective. So
and the outcome for a horse with rabies is not good.
Nope, it's not good. And the horse, the other thing that's scary about rabies, obviously, is that they can pass that on to human, right? It's zoonotic disease, so
right.
it can go from animal to human, and you don't want to deal with any of that stuff.
No, none of that.
So make sure that you're certainly coming into the warm months, the mosquito population will go up, so your chances of meeting one that's carrying Eastern encephalitis virus is important, or is more likely. So make sure you have your vaccines on board. And
this is a great time to get all caught up on that. Springtime
right.
it's good to be ahead of that time.
Absolutely.
So this is a good time to get that done. And
absolutely.
It seems, as you said, you mentioned a good point. We don't hear about West Nile very much. But every year we do hear about cases of encephalitis. It does.
Oh yeah.
It starts to be around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
People can get West Nile. People can get Eastern encephalitis. These Eastern encephalitis is a reportable disease. Has to be reported. That if a horse gets it or is diagnosed with it, again, those things are diagnosed via blood tests typically. Clinical signs give the veterinarian suspect, of a possibility that this might be happening. So just get your guys, your four-legged friends covered. And like I said, with any vaccine, it's not 100% guarantee that your horse will not get infected with, any of these viruses. But typically, when they do, or if they do, it'll be much less severe. So
absolutely. Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot at HITS from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Dr. Adam Cayot, he was at HITS for the season, and it was nice to chat to him and to get everybody prep ready for the summer. Getting your spring vaccines is rather important. This is the time to do it, so get it done. You can reach out to Peterson Smith. We have Sabra O'Quinn with us here in the studio, and we have got the end of this segment and the next one with her to chat a bit, but we thought we'd be a little historic to start with. Uh-oh. Sabra, thank you for being with us.
Almost matched the white walls. I need some Florida sunshine.
So you grew up in Ocala?
Yes, I did. I was pretty much born and raised here. Since I was 3 years old, on Highway 40, out where past WEC, it was called Grosse Pointe Stud Farm. And
thoroughbreds,
running quarter horses. My uncle and them rodeoed, and we showed horses, and it was just all kinds of stuff.
So you just grew up with it all the way through your childhood?
100%. Yeah, worked summers. It was a family-owned operation, so we worked a lot, which taught me a lot, which is great. We wanted horses, and we just had to show up and work.
You had to do the job.
Yeah.
Very hands-on.
The colors were red and white. We had to paint water troughs all summer, red and white. I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing on my place is red and white. Like, woo. Yeah, it was, and just had horses my whole entire life. I got my first pony when I was 3.
But you learned the work ethic behind the farm life, right?
100%.
So
yeah. The farm life, the responsibility of animals. Used to help my uncles and my Miss Margot feed on the feed wagon. I mean, I just think you learn the care of the land, and my grandfather used to rotate pastures. We had orange groves, and it was an amazing way of life that I think so many kids are missing out on these days,
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
It really is.
There's nothing like growing up with horses, with animals, and on a farm. And we were just talking the other day about how few people now have access to that.
It really is, and it's one of those things like, animals are so 100% dependent on humans.
So true.
Especially when we confine them.
Hold that thought. We've got to go take a break, but we're going to come right back with Sabra. Stay with us.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business. My wife Sarah and I are horse owners ourselves and know what matters most to a farm owner, with the safety of their horses being of utmost importance to us. Pat Myers Electric can light up your arena and make sure your horse's barn is safe and protected. Pat Myers Electric is the horseman's choice. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
Veteran-owned Wide Automotive, that's WEIDE, is a beacon of automotive excellence in Ocala. Founded on integrity and expertise with unwavering dedication in all operations, we seek to forge lasting relationships with our clients. Whether you have one vehicle or a fleet, we pledge our best effort in quality service. From repairs, diagnostics, tire repair and replacement, diesel engine work, horse trailers, car batteries, wheel alignments, fuel systems, and more. Discover more at wideautomotive.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we're chatting to Sabra O'Quinn. She is a professional barrel racer. It's lovely to have you with us. We've talked a little history, growing up with the race horses and family and work ethic. Lots of chores when you have that many animals to take care of, and how important that is. And just touched on how few kids these days actually do grow up in that life.
That's right. Don't grow up on a farm. And by the way, I still have plenty of chores.
So do we.
How many years later, and we're still doing the same thing. But I can't think of a better way to live my life, honestly.
No, I agree. Talk a little bit about the journey, learning barrel. How old were you when you started barrel racing, and kind of how that progressed?
Well, I originally got my first pony when I was 3, and it's kind of funny. My sister and I used to race our ponies on my grandfather's racetrack, and then I got my first horse when I was 5 years old, and his name, and this is factual, Win O'Quinn, W-I-N O'Quinn. And my uncle and my dad, I don't know who were, they raced him on the track, but he'd break out the gates good and then just slow. And so somehow or another, he was 3 years old, and my parents talked my grandfather into letting me have him. And I was 5, and they were like, I can't believe you're giving that baby that horse. And I laid him to rest when he was 32.
Oh.
Chuck's me up talking about it.
I know.
So anyways, all the games, taught him all the games. That horse did everything. And I used him a little bit even in high school rodeo. So that's kind of, was my first horse. And then one thing led to another, living in Ocala and having access to, back then you still had horse shows and AQHA shows and game shows. And so, I did all of that. The jumping, the only thing I never have done was reining. But so you kind of go through those avenues and do those things, but I was just all about speed. I like speed, and I really wanted to be rewarded for my time.
Go fast.
Yeah. So it kind of just went that way, and my aunt and uncle and them rodeoed, so they opened that avenue for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Amigo. He recently just won the MHA World Championship in Georgia, Perry, Georgia, and I was super proud of him because I've won the NBHA 1D world title twice, and per the records, I'm the only person that has done that.
Oh, wow. You're a record breaker,
Well,
too.
someone just told me that the other day. They're like, you're the only one that's won 2 1D Open World Championships, and I won them 10 years apart on 2 different horses that I still own, by the way.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So you're a record breaker there.
I'm just, the horse is what makes you great, you know.
That's so true, isn't it?
So I've trained them all, and I do it from the roots up, because, you know, that's just how I grew up. You know, we couldn't afford to go buy big time horses, you know, you just had to make them. And so
that's right.
That's just kind of what's instilled in me now.
So start them and make them successful.
Right, you know, and have that relationship with them, and you know, it just makes the journey more fun to me and more rewarding. Mm-hmm.
So how do you, and is that must be part of what gets you to the top of barrel racing, is we often talk about horses that someone else has started.
That's Nosy, that's the other one that won the world championship.
Sometimes have problems that other people gave them. So sometimes success is...
It really is, but you know, I tell people all this time, I said, you know, when I was young, and like, you know, our family owned business, you know, we worked. We didn't, you know, we just didn't have this kind of funds. And so I think I would ride anything when I was younger, you know, and that's how I learned. Because you can learn from the bad horses, just like you can learn from the good horses. And so I tell kids all the time, like I'm just helping this one young kid, I'm like, get on with anybody, but someone let you ride. Because that's how you're going to learn, you know. And now that I've gotten older, and I really just want to ride my own that I train. I don't want to sound
wise.
egotistical.
She got smart, yes.
But
you youngins go out there and get on the anything.
And get on anything.
Yeah, I kind of quit doing that quite a while ago. But yeah, it's just what I do, and I'm the one mare bringing on guys. She's 17 and she's won a lot, and so now she's having babies. I'm flushing embryos out of her, and so that's
so you're
kind of
breeding,
the new journey.
You're breeding, training, and riding.
And breaking. I've broken most all my horses. I have a 2-year-old colt that I'm not sure I'm going to do. I might have to reach out to Frank Barnett and be like, you might have to help me on this one. But yeah, I do it. I want to do it all. I want to know every hair on their body.
That's incredible. So tell us about the competition at WEC.
Well, I've been doing the Fiddler's Turkey Run this will be the 24th annual Fiddler's Turkey Run. And I started the Fiddler's Turkey Run because I had a business that you asked me about earlier, Fiddler's Trailers and Equipment on 40. And I wanted to give back to my customers because we had a lot of barrel racers that were our customers. And so I started in Ocala. OBS, you know, owned that property there.
Yeah,
had an indoor arena. They own it now, but I don't remember who owned it back then. Anyway, we had it there for 2 years, and we outgrew that facility. And so we moved to Canterbury, and that only lasted 1 year. And then I went to Jacksonville. And we had outgrown Jacksonville for 3 years, and I had got whiff of WEC and the future plans. And one of the guys that worked there, and the Roberts, worked real hard to get Arena 5 going, and they were, you know, and that just started the journey to have a performance horse arena and move my barrel race there. And the first year, I was super nervous about it because, you know, it's a really nice place.
Yes.
And so that was into, what years? I don't remember. That was the 19th annual, so this will be the 24th annual.
So 5 years ago. So gosh, right at the beginning of WEC, really.
It was the, yeah. It was. And so that was, I think, 4 years. I kept bugging them, and they were like, don't even have the barns done, Sabra. I'm like, okay, I still want to go there. So anyways, that started the barrel races at WEC. And then Greg and a few people out there were like, yeah, you should have more barrel races. And I'm like, So we worked it out, and we have 3 now. So we have the May Day Barrel Bonanza, and that's Memorial Day weekend. And then we have the Labor Day Barrel Blast, and that's Labor Day weekend. So we have 3 races, 3 holiday weekends.
And then the Thanksgiving weekend.
And then the Fiddler's Turkey Run, which is my personal race. And then the other 2 are WECs. Wow. But I manage them for them and stuff. And we got a great crew, and we're having fun, and it's...
and people can come out and watch, right?
They come out and watch. It's free. I've created some new classes nationwide. We've changed some things about our barrel races, and I really think it's going to be a lot of fun. Because just what we talked about earlier, I don't want to exclude anybody from coming to our races and competing, right? If you only can come one day and you only have one little horse, and we have a youth class and a limited rider class, and I want everyone to experience Ocala and that venue and our barrel races, and that's part of me giving back to the sport I love, really.
That's incredible. Yeah. So people come from all over to compete there?
They do. Mm-hmm. The southeastern United States is real strong. The turkey run for sure, because I've been doing it 24 years, and so many friends and family, and people, and people come there, and that is it's a family event. They all ride, and barrel racing is a family sport. Everybody rides, kids, the fathers, the brothers.
That.
So
it's a family event, and everybody's welcome to come watch, and it's 3 holiday weekends. It gives you something fun to do.
Absolutely.
Come out to World Equestrian Centre, which is so beautiful, such a lovely place to visit anyway, and then you can come watch the barrel race. That's
right. And to the May Day and the Labor Day, both of those have a finals on the holiday, which is fun. And then the turkey run's it's just so huge, and we have so many. One year we had like 800 contestants. We got like 3 in the morning, but that was a lot.
Sabra, thanks for being with us. We'd love to have you back, and we're going to be at your barrel race now.
Perfect.
Right?
Love to see you guys. Nice meeting y'all.
Nice to meet you.
We'll be back after this. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934, manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of north central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I don't know if you know this. We might have mentioned the fact that we broadcast from the horse capital of the world. We own the official title, and I feel lately like we really live in the horse capital of the world, because I feel like I'm just running from event to event thing to another event. So we're going to tell you about a few over the past week or so that have been absolutely phenomenal for the equine industry and for this area as a whole. So we're going to kick it off with the FTBOA Gala, which was actually last night. That's the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association, and the theme was Fire Horse, because it's Year of the Horse, and it was very red and black and beautiful in there, and we were celebrating quite a few of the Florida breds that have achieved incredible mentions. The Chamber and Economic Partnership is a platinum sponsor for the gala, and it's such an incredible way to support Florida breeding in the thoroughbred world, as well as all the things they do to advocate for the thoroughbred as well. And the silent auction was fantastic, and it was just a wonderful event overall. Our CEO from the Chamber was one of the folks that went up on stage to do one of the awards, and Pete and Jenna were there. And hats off, literally hats off. Pete's new hat, hats off to the FTBOA for all of their efforts. Lonnie Powell, who is the CEO of the FTBOA, was instrumental in helping the decoupling efforts to stall, so we're very thankful for that. And he's also the one that's instrumental in creating a racetrack here in the horse capital of the world if the decoupling in fact passes at some point, and he's got that in the works already just in case. So big things in the thoroughbred world. The other wonderful opportunity I had last week, thank you so much to Dennis and Erin from Gypsy Gold Horse Farms. It was a huge honor to be invited to the University of Florida last Friday to be one of the small panel of judges for their Innovation Academy, who were given the project of creating innovation for Gypsy Gold and what the future might actually be for the Gypsy Gold farm. And Dennis, although we hope he's around for another 50 years, is talking about what happens when I'm not here anymore, and what sort of efforts could be made to continue. And these young students at the University of Florida were so impressive. There were 20 teams to choose from, and I can tell you, I would have given, I'm not a participation award person, but I would have given all 20 of them a first place. It was the hardest thing in the whole world to choose a best one, because they were on such a level playing field. And the one that won was actually Build-A-Mare. Do you all remember Build-A-Bear? Build-A-Bear. Does everybody remember Build-A-Bear?
So you're going to build the mayor of Ocala?
Build-A-Mare.
Mayor, like...
Mare, like female horse.
Okay,
mare.
Just making sure you got an accent.
Yeah, I know I do. Build-A-Mare. And it was just all of them. Every one of them had a brilliant idea, mostly tech-related. One had a book with Dennis on the front, a kid's book, and a sticker of Dennis. And it was just the day someone stopped to listen is what they called the book, a kid's book. And it was just such a great thing to see. Honestly, I was next seat over from him, and I teared up a couple of times, and I know he did. It was just really moving to see the different ways they had come up to celebrate everything in the gypsy heritage, and then everything for the Gypsy Vanna horse that they created, that they came. And these young people were really impressive. And hey, they watched the horse talk show to get a lot of their ideas. They watched the whole series with Dennis that we did on the Gypsy Gold farm. And
so they knew who you were? Did they ask about me?
They said, when's Pete getting a new hat?
No, okay.
We showed you the South Carolina Gamecocks cheering at the NCEA, and the National Collegiate Equestrian Association, I think it's in its fifth year here. But it's a huge, big deal to have here in the horse capital at World Equestrian Center. It is a very, very exciting team sport, and there are 8 teams actually. Well, this year there were 8 teams that came from all over the United States to compete in this team format. There was some dual that did Western and English, and some that just did English. And then there were the 2 championship wins, whether they were the dual or the single. And I can tell you the energy in there was incredible. The teamwork, is amazing. And the kids from the other teams that came up and hugged the winners were also super impressive. And the stands were all full. Well done to World Equestrian Centre for hosting this, because it's just such a big deal to have this event and to have it here, and to have these young people riding these horses for like 4 minutes for the first time before they compete on them is really amazing to see all that happen. And we had Tom O'Mara from USEF in here a couple of weeks ago talking about it, and it's just a very, very exciting sport, and I think it truly tests the rider. So
pretty impressive.
Very impressive event. And then we were also at Ocala Breeder Sales, very appropriately at the 2-year-old in training sales last week. I actually had Becky Jenkins from Grateful Gallops there with me, and we were so happy to meet the actual owners of So Happy. And
What's So Happy?
Yes, he's a racehorse that's in the Kentucky Derby. And Mike Smith is riding him, and they were a fairly new consignment. They sold him for $20,000. So he's racing against horses that were in the millions. And my favourite jockey's riding him, Mike Smith. And it is just...
And you're going to be there.
And it makes me so happy. And you don't realise how often you say "so happy" until you know a racehorse called So Happy.
And in first place, So Happy.
So happy. Louisa's so happy. But I was really happy. I'm going to say really happy. I was really happy because these people were newer consigners, and to have a horse of theirs that they trained and started be in the Kentucky Derby makes me so happy.
No pun on words.
I can't help it. But we also met a gentleman called Wendell Hill, and we're actually going to air his interview in the Derby broadcast, which is an additional special broadcast that's going to start airing probably tomorrow on Equus Television and on social media. And we interview all the connections to the Kentucky Derby. And I was walking out from Hidden Brook Farm consignment, talking to Mark Roberts, and a gentleman was sitting down and said to Becky and I, "Why don't you interview the people who actually do the work?" And I turned around and said, "Okay."
And then you couldn't talk?
He looked at me like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, come on." So we interviewed Wendell Hill. And let me tell you what, that gentleman handled American Pharaoh, handled Ewing, the horse that was made so famous last year by Griffin Johnson, handled the Puma, who is in the Kentucky Derby this year. And boy, oh boy, did he have some great stories to tell. He was so fun. And he sent me amazing photographs of all of them. He sent me a picture of the Puma sleeping in his stall, which is super cool. And you know what the theme was all day long when we were at Ocala Breeder Sales?
What's that?
Every single person I think we interviewed said, "This horse really naps well. Really sleeps good, takes really good naps for several hours." And I thought, hey, maybe that's the answer. I'm not napping enough.
There you go.
Maybe I could run faster if I napped more. It was a great theme. Anyway, Ocala Breeder Sales, and by the way, the second most expensive horse ever in thoroughbred auction history, sold for $10.5 million at OBS last week by Flightline. Incidentally,
you could buy a nice property for that kind of money. Let alone one horse.
Quick mention before we go to break. April Mayberry actually trained Flightline right here in Ocala at Mayberry Farm. And I believe that the foundation she put on that horse made it as successful as it was. And now one of its babies sold for $10.5 million.
Wow.
Go Mayberry Farm. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us on the Horse Talk Show.
Hello, I'm Pat Myers, owner of Pat Myers Electric, a family-owned and operated business founded on both trust and integrity. From new installations to repairs and emergencies, Pat Myers Electric's team of professionals can handle it all. Pat Myers Electric, for all your current needs. Discover more at patmyerselectric.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus. Buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet,
your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Road.
You know, if you have a horse, I know you've got at least one dog, and some of you
may have two.
3. But I think a lot of horse people do have dogs, and they need to know about Ocala Dog Ranch because they have dock diving, law coursing, disc dog, flyball, training, boarding, daycare, lots and lots of different programs there for dogs. Doggy daycare is fantastic for your dog. You can go over and use the pool and get the dog swimming and jumping in and training to do dock diving, and it's an incredible place. If you have a dog, it's a place you just need to know about. And we love Neil, and in fact my dogs will be heading over there on Thursday of this week so that I can go interview Piranha's sponsored riders at the 3-day Defender in Kentucky, where we are a media sponsor, and then I'll be popping to the Oaks and Kentucky Derby to bring you all vicarious adventures from behind the scenes, and it'll be an exciting time, and at least I know that my dogs are in good hands, Neil.
They're great dogs. We love them.
I just can't contain them when I get them in the truck and we pull in your driveway there.
No, they're good dogs. We like them.
Well, I'm excited to tell you that you're getting Lucy this time 4-legged instead of 3-legged. Thank you to the love and care of Becky Jenkins from Grateful Gallops.
Yeah, she's a good lady.
She's a good lady. She is indeed. And so you're going to get 4-legged Lucy that I'm still trying to contain per her instructions.
But she can't go running around like a zoomies, right? No zoomies for Lucy?
Becky said not yet. She said maybe when you get back from Kentucky we'll try some minor zoomies. But we're not all the way there yet because we don't want to rush it.
Don't want to go back to square one.
No, we don't. So
nice hat, Neil.
You like that?
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Got its own ears.
It fits you very well. So you are getting into a new venture that actually would partner very well with a lot of what Becky does, because what Becky does is wonderful natural therapies that and we're not recommending anybody replace their vet, by the way. I always like to say that on air. We don't recommend ever replacing your veterinarian, but complementing what you do with your veterinarian, or if you have a diagnosis from a veterinarian on one of your animals, helping that healing process, comfort, circulation, all of those things move forward faster and more successfully. So that's what we're always looking for, is how can we complement what we do with the vet. And you're onto a new venture, which is very exciting, that BEMER now has a
product for dogs.
And who better to go to
than the Dog Ranch?
Than the Dog King, Neil. Hennessey.
Well, yeah, they just released him, like April 15th is the official date for the BEMER dog product. It's exciting to learn about it. I mean, I've been following around all you horse people where you've been putting BEMERs on horses, and hearing about all these good things that the horses have. And it's exciting. I've been talking to Ian probably 2 or 3 years waiting for this product to arrive. I actually broke down and started using voodoo medicine myself. never really was into it, but I've had a nagging leg injury pretty much all my life, and I've been using the BEMER bed and the handheld one, and my left leg ankle is great compared to what it used to be. I mean, I used to just
the technology is really outstanding.
I used to just jam it in a boot, strap it up, take a couple of leave, and then soldier on. And now.
So did Ian get you to come to the cabin at
Oh yeah,
World Equestrian Center?
Yeah, I've been going over there taking lessons. There's a lot to learn about it. I mean, obviously, you know, like Louisa said, we're not trying to replace anybody's vet. We're not trying to replace anybody's doctor. But there's research. I mean, BEMER's even gone up with the astronauts through NASA to help them, because once they leave the atmosphere, they leave the electric of the Earth, and their bodies deteriorate because they don't have it. So a lot to be said. We're excited for the dogs because we come across all kinds of dogs. It's great for puppies to help them calm down. It's great for the athlete dogs, help them to recover after a strenuous weekend of exercising. It's just all pure positive. We're just excited. We think it's something that is natural to come to Ocala Dog Ranch. We are definitely going to be teaming up with Miss Becky over there. We'd like to see her do well, and she can offer another service that we can't. So it's just fantastic. It's going to be exciting.
It's just a great fit, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we always seem to run into people out here in magical Ocala that seems to work for the ranch. We always seem to stumble into good things.
And good people.
And good people. I mean, the horse community is great. I mean, they have animals. I mean, we have animals. I mean, our animals are a little cheaper. We're not going to sell any dogs for $10.2 million, but you might have to buy one for $3,000, and you want to take care of them, especially if you compete. I mean, there's so many sports you now can do with dogs that you need to have your dog in tip-top shape, and you need you to be in tip-top shape. We're all getting a little older, so the aches and pains, I mean, you can lay on the BEMER bed and maybe it'll help you get better.
You know, I will speak to that because I have had a BEMER blanket for several years and was consistently using it 8 minutes, night and morning, for I don't know how long, honestly, over 1.5 years for sure. And I did not have the aches and pains. And since it has actually malfunctioned and needs to be fixed, I've not been using it, and the difference is very noticeable.
We can tell. Oh, sorry.
So I will.
Yeah, you're slowing down. You're only doing like 5 events a day,
right?
Instead of 6.
And you're only sleeping 5 hours instead of 6, right?
It's true. You're right. Okay, I'm still going from thing to thing and event to event, and yes, but it is noticeable, the difference in your energy level and how you overall feel. So I can only imagine how having this for a dog could be, you know.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of old dogs out there that have arthritis, and this can help them. I mean, got some, pet dogs, I mean, because we all want the best for our animals. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have them. So, I mean, if we can give that little old dog a little bit extra pep in the morning by putting him on a beam bed, then it's worth doing it. I mean, we will be having an event in Juniper General Store May 21. So if anybody wants to come out and talk further with us, we'll have Ian with us. He's the master. He's the guru. He knows all about BEMER. We're learning. I mean, and so, but we're excited. I mean, it goes hand in hand with our sports dogs.
It really does.
We're going to go take it on the road to a couple of events. We're going to take it to our national in Indianapolis, our flyball national. We have about a team from nearly every state of America will be there. And we're going to introduce it to the dogs up there. It's probably going to be close to 3,000 dogs competing. So we're going to go up there and we're going to introduce it. And then, hopefully it'll do well, and hopefully people will take advantage of it. I mean, it's not cheap, but then again, anything good is not cheap.
This is true.
So describe what it is exactly. Like, is it a bed? Is it a mat?
Well, for the dogs, I mean, it's basically a mat with a big coil in it. And then you have a remote control. You can either put it in your dog's crate, or you can put a bed on top of it. Then it comes in different sizes.
Nice. I can
it's
see
gonna
my
be, you
dogs
know,
really enjoying this.
Yeah,
Maybe they should try it out at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Well, we don't have ours yet. It's still in the mail. But I mean, some dogs are not going to. Well, once you start using it, the dogs will take to it and they will lay on it. But in the beginning, you'll probably need to put the bed inside the crate so that the dog can't get up and walk away.
Right.
But eventually, you'll be able to lay it on the floor with their bed on top, and they'll just climb on
They'll
because they
climb
love
on
it.
and love it. Yeah,
they know.
Horses love it. They
you
go
know.
to sleep, drop their head, fall asleep. I do. Works on me.
Yeah, I mean, and when we had the opening with Ian, we had a dog from Vogel there that was a rescue dog. Once that dog laid on it, he didn't want to get up.
He didn't want to get up. Neil, people can find you at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Yep.
For all the different services you offer. Coming soon, you'll have your BEMER there, and it'll be a great opportunity for people to learn more.
And May 21.
May 21. Juniper.
Juniper.
Juniper in Ocala, May
It's a
21.
Thursday. It'll be like from 5 to 7.
Wonderful.
All right.
Yes.
Everybody would be welcome.
Thank you. I'll see you with my dogs on Thursday.
Okay.
Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch, check it out, learn more. We're very excited about this and about partnering him up with Becky from Grateful Gallops so that your dog can get all the therapies it could possibly ever need. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog, including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at seminolefeed.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health, in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And it was pretty exciting to see as we mentioned earlier, the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association have their
Gala.
Mm-hmm. And to
gala.
see all the incredible horses that Florida breds that have won amazing awards. And Bentonato, what a horse. I mean, really, what a horse. And I was fortunate enough to be conveniently at the barn when he arrived back from the Breeders' Cup with his winning blanket. and I got to meet him. And then I was fortunate enough to be at the FTBOA Gala last night to hear that he was awarded Horse of the Year.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And I was very excited for his owners and his entire team. So I thought that perhaps we should backtrack a little bit to November and take you back to the Breeders' Cup, to when I had a chance to chat to his exercise rider about the little dinosaur. Here he is.
Yeah. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and the Equus Television Network here on the backside in the barns at the Breeders' Cup World Championships. A very exciting 2 days of racing. We're on Championships Day today. It's been an especially exciting weekend for the team right here because She's So Spicy and Florida bred Bentonato have both been winners today. So it's a extra thrilling day for your team, right? And Jose Rivera? And you are the exercise rider of Bentonato.
Yes.
That makes this very, very special for you because you are the person who rides the horse every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ride the horse every day. This is my baby. I call him like my little dinosaur. Because
little dinosaur.
My little dinosaur.
I love that.
He's so big, like a dinosaur.
Yes. How does it feel to ride him? He's very strong. He's had an amazing career so far in the Breeders' Cup last year and then winning this year. And we're always extra excited for Florida breds. But tell us about riding him every day, how you feel.
I feel awesome with him. That's the first thing. But he's a tough horse. He's a tough horse, but he's so smart. He knows do everything perfect. When he go to the track, he go focus in his work, but he's a little bit strong. That's the only thing.
He's strong.
Yeah,
but that helps him to be a winner, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you have a very important role with him because you are the person who is getting him ready for what is really the biggest deal to win at the Breeders' Cup. So your job is so important.
Oh yeah. I just try to do everything perfect, because he's tough and I don't want like he run off. That's the best thing. He cannot run off every day.
That's right. Even when he wants to, right?
Oh yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background. I heard a little bit your love for horses, up at 3 a.m. every day. This is like in your blood.
Yeah,
you love this, right? You're from Puerto Rico, is that right?
Yeah, I'm from Puerto Rico. I used to be a writer. I do that for 10 years. And then I have to quit for the weight, but I keep in the business, galloping the horses in the morning and everything because it's like I say, that's my life. The horses is my life.
And this is your boy.
Oh, this is my little dinosaur.
Your little dinosaur. I just want to say, and Betsy mentioned earlier, how you guys look so good. You look the part. All of you so professional.
Thank you.
And I think that's so fitting and appropriate. So exciting for you to have She's So Spicy win and then Bentonato. Yeah. It has to be a great day.
Oh, it is, definitely. It's an awesome day. I'm so excited. I can't believe that's happened right now. I'm touching me like, that's real. I don't know if that's
yourself,
real.
yeah.
But
that's so great. And first Breeders' Cup wins for your stable.
Yeah, it is.
Well done.
Thank
you know, you are such an important part of everything that makes this happen because without that great foundation for that horse every single day, he can't be a winner. And you know what we believe is that the love and care and the passion that goes in matters. The energy in your barn matters, and you have it.
Yeah. We work every day. Our team is like a family, We work 7 days together, we help us, together, and I don't feel this is like my job. I feel this is my family.
This is your family.
Yeah, it is.
This is your home.
Yeah,
it's so wonderful.
We just try to wake up happy every day with good vibes and do what we love.
That's wonderful. Jose, I just want to say congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
And your little dinosaur.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you.
Louisa Barton here with Jose Rivera, and we are at the barn of She's So Spicy and Bentonato, 2 big winners today. Well done to them and their family, who is the team right here. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
That was so cool. Being right there when they come back from winning a Breeders' Cup race, Breeders' Cup World Championship race, huge, big deal. And to talk to humble people that talk about being a team and being a family and how much they love the horse. And you could see his connection as the exercise rider with the horse and how important that was to him. And I just was absolutely thrilled to be there, and then to hear that horse win. And then the owner shared some stories last night about how it's not all wins all the time, and how there's loss and heartache and some things that she just recently had gone through with the horse. And it's tough, it's ups and downs, but lovely to meet their team after the Breeders' Cup. And speaking of bringing our viewers vicariously to the racetrack, we will be at the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks in just about less than 2 weeks. And we will be media and be behind the scenes. And we were just talking about how important it is for people to see the other side, which is we get to see the front side, the racetrack, all the glamour and glitz, and the red carpet and all of that, but taking you behind the scenes into the barns to where the horses are galloping in the morning. We'll be there at 5 a.m. in the morning, bringing you scenes from the horses that are in the Derby and the Oaks galloping on the track. We'll be right there when they get their bath in the morning after they gallop, yes. And we'll be bringing you that. And we'll just be walking around the barn sharing with you all of the experiences and interviewing as many people as we can. And of course, because we're in Ocala Marion County, the horse capital of the world, we'll be focused on the Ocala Marion County connections. We do actually have a special broadcast starting tomorrow on Equus Television. We can't interview every single one of the Ocala Marion County connections because there are so many, but we got as many as we could for you. So we've got some great stories to share with you about how these horses got their start. And with Pete sitting here to my right, he can tell you the start matters, and doing it right and taking your time. And
Foundation makes the difference.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that every single person that we interviewed last week at OBS with a connection to one of these horses talked about giving them time, turning them out, letting them be horses. If they tell you they're not ready, not making them be ready, working with them, getting to know their personalities. Every single one of them talked about demeanor, naps, rest, and all of those different parts that make up the success.
Charlotte Cannon, friend of ours, she says it best. She goes, "You talking about me, you put the time at the beginning so you don't have to put as much time at the end."
That's right. And they talked about reading the horse and recognizing how the horse feels and what it's ready for. And I was really impressed with every single one of them. So make sure you're checking out that broadcast, and then make sure you're following us and liking us on social media, finding us on Equus TV and TV20, because you're going to hear all about that. The Run for the Roses, the two most exciting minutes in sports, and the Horse Talk Show will be right there. We're excited. Coming back after this break. Stay with us.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated treated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
D&N Equine Recovery is owned and operated by avid horsemen. With over 75 years of experience in the equine industry, D&N Equine Recovery provides the only whole horse crematorium in the greater Levy-Marion County area, serving all of north central Florida. All staff are dedicated to demonstrating the utmost respect throughout this emotionally delicate process, providing compassionate and timely service when it matters to horse owners the most. For more information, go to dnequinerecoveryllc.com.
It's time to fight back against summer sores with K-Well's Red Repel, healing and soothing, a lava-slaying ointment of justice, powered by zinc and nature's sass. Safe for all horses, even drama queens, gentle enough for the face. Your horse deserves skincare too, long-lasting and non-toxic. A bonus, buy a copper curry brush or Red Repel and receive a free in-store K-Well sample of your choice in Ocala at Seminole Feed Stores, TD Distributors and OBS. Discover more at kwellusa.com. K-Well, strength by nature. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios, presented by Piranha Animal Health in the horse capital of the world.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet.
Your hometown Chevy experience.
Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Road.
And it's now time to do Dancing Pete Roder's Horsemanship Tip of the Week.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
Today's tip of the week is calling a horse lazy. It's one of my pet peeves. So a lot of people call a horse lazy. I always say it's conservative. Meaning people don't realize horses don't want to expend all their energy, because if they do, now they're vulnerable to predators. So they can't run to get away. So you have to get a horse's trust to get them to want to do that. So there's some horses that are, quote, lazy, as we call them, that they're conserving themselves so that they don't overexert, or they are saying, well, you got to make it interesting for me. Like, this isn't interesting, so you've got to, just like an employee that you can't get motivated. What motivates one person might not motivate somebody else. So getting them motivated. And then I've also heard lazy being scared. So they won't go to a certain side of the arena. They're called lazy, and they're given the once over to get over to that other side, and then they're terrified because of it. So you got to be careful on labeling a horse lazy.
Very interesting.
And even people.
People too. Very interesting. Conserving energy.
And they could be running around in their head because they're scared.
That's right.
They don't want to move. They're so scared they can't move.
Can you read your horse? That's the question.
Definitely. And can you try different strategies? I always go on the strategy of, okay, maybe this horse is scared before I think they're confident.
Time to go to the horseman's electrician, Pat Myers Electric, for his tip of the week.
At Pat Myers Electric, we're constantly training to be our absolute best.
For all your current barn needs. Hi, I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric, serving all your current needs. Today's tip of the week has to do with protecting your barn from storm surge. Storms are right around the corner, summer is coming, and that means that the storms are coming as well, and we all need to be protected and prepared, not only with generators for backup power, but surges are something that happens commonly during these storms. So putting in a surge protection device in your panel can eliminate a lot of headache. It's an easy way to protect your waterers, your well, and your other barn equipment, making sure that you keep those things up and running even during a storm. Pat with Pat Myers Electric, serving all your current needs.
We call him the horseman's electrician for a reason.
Spark of Ocala.
That's right. He's your guy. He can do your walkthrough at no charge, give you a consultation, and make sure you're all safe and set for the summer, because you know storms, They will be coming. We don't feel like it at the moment in the drought we're having, but storms will be coming.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, time to get prepared. It's a good time to get prepared.
And it's nice to have somebody that's looking out for you, not going to go, oh, this person did, Barton has this and this. No, he's actually going out there to make sure you don't have a fire or a problem.
Absolutely. And he'll be standing in for me next week for the show, because I will be in Kentucky. We are a media sponsor for the Defender 3-day event at the Florida Horse Park at the Kentucky Horse. I'm trained, Florida. I'm Florida trained at the Kentucky Horse Park, and we're excited to be there. We'll be bringing you interviews and up close on all the excitement at that 3-day event. So we're thrilled to be there, and we've got a lot of our Ocala folks that will be there, and we've got a Piranha sponsored rider there that we're going to be interviewing, so it should be a good time. And then we'll be going straight from there to Louisville and covering the Oaks and the Derby. So Pat Myers will be hosting. He'll be standing in for me next week, and we have some great guests next week. I'll mention those towards the end, but I want to talk about some events that are coming up. Black Horse Ranch, quick mention for them. That's right, they have a youth scholarship, which is actually to help people who can't afford to take riding lessons and compete. And Black Horse Ranch is a great place to go camping and riding. And the young lady's mother, who's no longer with us, this was kind of her dream. So this is her legacy here, to have a youth scholarship to help folks ride if they can't afford to. Hey, we've mentioned this lady a few times this show. Becky Jenkins from Grateful Gallops. If you mention the Horse Talk Show, you get 50% off your first service. So all you have to do is tell her you listen to the Horse Talk Show and you would like her to come work on your horse, dog, or you. The best weekend all year, they say. Get your tickets quick. April 23rd to the 26th is the Kentucky 3-day event at the Kentucky Horse Park.
The Defender.
The Defender. It'll be a good time. The April 26th Hunter Pace, presented by Larson Hay, will be happening at Misty Morning Hounds at the Perry Plantation. I am sorry, I will not be there. I hate to miss it, because
you're not gonna fly down, do it, and go back.
Oh, I'd love to. I absolutely love riding at Misty Morning Hounds. The plantation is absolutely gorgeous. This is for English or Western riders. You can be no jumping or jumping flat or over the fences. And
do you have to be on the back of the horse when it goes over?
Preferably. Yeah, okay. It's much better if you do.
Just checking.
But there's a great course out there. It's great for, especially for eventers, if there are any that are not competing. This is a great way to get some really good training on your horse and some really good time under saddle. The long course is about 6 or 7 miles. They do have a shorter course if you're not quite up to that. Lots of great jumps, and check it out. I'm excited about this one.
Donkey Days celebration.
Pete doesn't know yet, but he's going to do some donkey whispering.
No, okay.
So coming up is Donkey Days celebration. This is an inaugural event here in the Ocala area. It's actually in Williston. And it's a gathering of donkeys and the people who love them. There's going to be trail fun run, obstacles, a costume party, education, food trucks. It's only $30 to compete. A portion of the funds are going to Brook USA, which is a great cause to help working equines across the world.
The 30th of March.
May,
excuse me.
We're out of March.
I know.
Doesn't feel like it,
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Yes, at Tree Line Farm in Williston. I'm very, very excited to have a Donkey Day celebration here. So when I get back from Kentucky, I'm going to be doing some donkey whispering, because my donkeys sure do need some whispering. Gentle Carousels Reading with Horses is about to begin. Just
June
about
4th.
A month and a half away, right, from the first one, which is presented by Pat Myers Electric. That is June 4th, June 11th, June 18th, June 25th, July 2nd, and July 9th. And that is going to be at the Midtown Station in downtown Ocala. This is an opportunity to bring together people who want to meet horses and be around horses in a safe environment, also encouraging literacy during the summer program.
Having a book read to you and the main character comes out, which is a horse.
It's amazing,
It's
isn't it?
so cool. I didn't miss one last year.
I know. They're really great. Great sponsors that jumped on. Horse Farms Forever, Piranha, Seacoast Bank, BEMER, the Horse Talk Show, of course, to promote it, and all the others that have helped make this happen. It's a great program all summer long, encouraging our school kids to engage with horses and read more. And then that couples really well with, get this on your calendar, and that is October 10th, the Black and White Gala to celebrate Magic from Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horse's 20th birthday, the same day as the All Breed Horse Capital Parade. You can go to both. 9 o'clock in the morning, you can see horses going around downtown Ocala, and in the evening, you can have an evening of magic and music with Gentle Carousel. October 10th. It's a big day. It's the most important day of the year, in my opinion, in Marion County, because we'll be horsing around all day long. I'll miss you guys next week. Pat Myers will be here, and so will Dancing Pete Rhoda. I'll be in Kentucky, and I hope you live vicariously through all of our adventures. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world,
or not,
happy horsing around till the same time next week.
See ya.